the Chiefs fans on camera in the
500's going to
okay.
Nick. So
nobody said anything.
My
about
ass
that.
can only take so much.
Like, oh, he's our guy.
Up that ass. Come on. Cock work.
Up
Yeah.
Kicking.
All right, let's get that ass. Can only take so much.
Fit.
Come on. Cock work. The Eagles are trying to. Did I just say what I think pause? No, did.
Well, good Wednesday afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And letting you know, this video is brought to you by BetUS. And make sure you guys use the promo code YouTube150, so that way you can get that matching bet of up to 150%, up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. So go ahead and do that today and bet responsibly. And of course, you know my dad, he's been killing it the last couple of weeks because he ain't been betting on the Cowboys. So I'm sitting here and I'm getting ready for the Dan Selio show, and let me turn this on.
He's never been told no. He's very seldom been told no.
I'm going to say
it's not his fault
that we're dealing with idiots here.
To his credit,
okay,
he was gracious
because
having been told no, having been told this is too far.
Let me turn them down.
So
a little bit here.
I think you're going to see a different demeanor.
Did a 5-year-old
actions?
Eagles Army Down Under? Hey, I did that. Those are just I just threw it together.
Because
I just threw it together. Sorry if you don't like it, but
he understands
be that as it may, it is what it is. So here's the thing.
Players that are on the
this is crazy. Okay, I wake up in the morning and let me get where is.
He has to not do it himself.
Hold it. Let me get the other live stream here.
Race, in order to preach.
I get up on Wednesday morning. I send a text message every Wednesday morning saying good morning to Dan Selio, right? And he asked me, "Are you good for today?" And I said, "I'm good." I said, "But I don't know about Philly.500." And
most mature players,
it's like 4:30. So I thought we were all set up for this. So here's where it gets to be interesting. I've been on roof working and running around picking up more roof shingles and things. And I get back here. My wife has cleaned up the desk and stuff. So my computer is unplugged. What's up, EJB? My computer, is unplugged and jacked up. So I get that together and all that. And then I realize I don't have a link for today. And I sent a message to his guy and said, where's the link?
Realize something about
and get nothing. I said, so no show today? And he's like, oh, let me read it exactly. Okay.
Over a guy like Brian Flores. Brian Flores is a friend of mine.
So
Brian Flores had
let me read
a whole bunch of BS. Had to take what Tua said to him. There he is now being a
Sills told me you couldn't do it for a family matter.
Want to be as your head football coach.
He has Philly at 4:30. You want in? Mark is always welcome on Jacob Sports. Now, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Let me read to you exactly.
You see some of these other coaches.
I said morning. He said, you good for 4:30? I said, I am not sure Philly is.
Which is unfair, and I think the Rooney Rule is a joke because they don't.
So all of a sudden,
it.
Right.
But
where do we get that there's a family matter?
What you're saying?
It's like I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. They're trying to set my ass up. They're trying to set my ass up to say, "Oh, Eagles are playing good. Mark Holmes is a little scared bitch, and he ain't gonna show up." That's what you know. That's what they're doing. You know that's what they're doing. Happy Hump Day, EJB, Dwayne Sweeney in the house, Cowboys Nation, Timothy Jenkins. What's going on? Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here for me to do the weekly Walk of Shame. And it's all, it's nothing but fun here. It's really about having some fun. Aisha Robinson, shout out to Aisha Robinson, taking it one day at a time.
Brian Flores.
Oh boy, did Philly.500
ostracize or blackball? Not because
flake again.
Coach,
he said that he told me yesterday. Oh, I've got some things I got to do. I'm not sure I can do it. So yeah. And again, Nick
you got us,
Mark. Yeah, I'm
the
here.
Job that he did.
So I think this segment is running over a little bit, but
and he's learning. But I think he's a pretty good coach.
They'll go to a few ads before we get there.
I don't mean to say, okay, we need affirmative action in the NFL, and Nick Sirianni shouldn't get a job.
Okay.
But can you imagine what would have happened?
So we'll see if Philly shows up or not. James
City
McNair, Asha Robinson, Mike Aldana, how you doing? B. Costello. When is Jerry doing the walk of shame? He never will. He'll never admit that he's made a mistake, and that is his fatal flaw.
Latino American. So we have a double standard in life. And in the
Boris, what's going on?
Reflective of American parts of American culture.
Ikey Banks, what's up?
Because they can
I see a lot of Eagle fans up in the house. Well, that's all good. We're all here to have fun. That's what we're here for. We're all here to have a good time.
There have been lots of guys with great opportunities. I mean, if we talk about
Iona Jones, good evening.
I mean, Mike Tomlin, he says crazy stuff all the time.
Mike Aldana, what's up?
That's a guy I want to
Asman. We need to have Philly.500 work on third shift at Pink's. You ain't lying on that one.
You know,
sounds like a Reed. I'm not sure Philly is.
Finally here.
Oh no, those were clips from his live streams. Those were Philly.500.
He's the best quarterback they're going to play so far this year. I mean, he's 14 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yeah.
You got
Jerry Jones. Listening to Jerry Jones will kill you. It's ridiculous. A little bit
more improved. They got Orlando Brown there. He's a little bit.
Let me go ahead and get ready
issue.
to enter.
I think they underestimated the loss of Joe Mixon, not having
him back early
because he was a factor on moving the sticks for them. But they're 2.5-point favorites at home, and they're 3-4 versus the 4-2 Eagles. I think that tells you.
But then I thought they'd win in Tampa because they didn't believe in Baker. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's a weird. I've watched Cincinnati a lot this year, like by accident. You know what I mean? Like I didn't mean to watch what they were doing. I love Burrow. I think he's.
I see Philly.500's in there. Yo.
Super Bowl. He would be like the face of the league. You know, he's just so charismatic. He's so cool, so good looking. His hair never looks bad, and crazy talented. You know, just crazy talented. So I could see them losing this game. I could see them losing this game by, 6, 8, 10 points. The big question is this defensive line now for real? Will they play as fast in the roles that they have assumed as they have in the last 2 games? So that means Bryce Huff getting 15 snaps and being effective on 10 of them.
Right,
that means Jordan Davis getting 15 snaps and being effective on 10
before we get
that means Jalen Carter being elite, and he's been elite. That means Josh Sweat being a good run stopper and getting 3 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where you're going to see the difference, Joe gets rid of it real quick, but I think Vic has enough faith in his – we've been seeing a lot more press coverage. I was talking to Seth Joyner yesterday about this. We've been seeing a lot more tight coverage on receivers. So if they tighten up on the receivers – and can get pressure on Joe to make him get it out quickly, there might be some quick 3-and-outs and maybe a pick or 2. I know Joe doesn't throw it into trouble very often. He's got really good receivers, but on the other hand, like you hit 3 drives out of bounds, you're due to hit 1 straight. You hit 3 straight, you're due to hit 1 out of bounds. So maybe Joe Burrow is
just trying to get set up.
I love watching him play. Him and
it's ridiculous.
He and Justin Herbert are my 2 favorite quarterbacks to watch.
A little bit here.
And I'm going to Cincinnati.
I hope Niners kicks Dallas's butt. Okay.
But I really
Logan Motorsports.
Cincinnati, not to hang out in Covington.
I hear you. I hope that if the Cowboys can't beat San Francisco now, they never will. They never will. They have to. They need to win bigger than anything else for this season. This thing is all or nothing.
Special. I thought he was the Michael Jordan of the NFL, and I think Joe Burrow might be the next.
Dan Sand.
Skyline Chili.
Can I get a bad check? A band check?
We used to have to go to Cincinnati every year. I covered the Phillies. We had to go to Cincinnati every year. And we would stay they had this beautiful Marriott. And most sports writers are Marriott people.
People don't realize you have to stay across the river in Kentucky.
Right. You fly into Kentucky, and then you stay at the Marriott. The Marriott is spectacular, has a great gym, all that sort of stuff. And somebody had got me to go do and for your viewers, I believe Skyline Chili is spaghetti covered by chili.
More of the same, just a different week.
As bad as it sounds.
Oh, this is going to be an Eagles circle jerk. They're going to be pounding their chests about how good they are. Oh, my God, we are so good.
No.
Philly.500 is funny. I hope he's there today.
That city, and that's your food of fame.
Yeah, we'll see if he is.
You need to adopt something else.
That's great. No wonder the Bengals have sucked. Hey, all good. Thank you so much.
Not here to make fun of Mark, just the Cowboys.
Trip.
You know, jokes on me are fine. I mean, as long as it's not like personal attacks. I mean, you can talk about how nappy my hair is, or how how stupid I am for supporting the Cowboys and things. I love that you go and all that. But you know,
it's all good.
Well, not Eric, but Eric Allen certainly. Eric Allen and Dick Allen certainly belong.
Absolutely. Thank you.
They should just keep taking it one day at a time. Just don't think about that. Just keep doing you, girl.
I absolutely. Marcus Hayes from the Philadelphia Inquirer. Fantastic stuff as always. Well,
real journalist.
Well.
Here we go.
I knew one guy was showing up.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't realize the other guy was showing up. Let me see if I'm ready for this guy. Yeah, you know what? I wrote down some notes here for the Cowboy guy. And I also wrote down some notes for my boy.
For his boy. His boy.
You guys so asked, too. Hey, is Mark coming on? I'm like, I don't know, man. This guy's starting to look like Jerry Jones. All of a sudden, he's starting to blame everyone else for the shitty season the Cowboys are having.
See?
I don't know.
You see how this is?
I think he thought you guys were going to pile drive him, too, today. You know, the Cowboys are 3-3. As I told you, man, this thing's got like the Exxon Valdez leak on it right now. Wait till 4 weeks happen from now. That thing's going to be hemorrhaging like he was on a battlefield. All that said,
he's not taking a break before this.
I got to hand it to him. I got to hand it to this guy. The great Mark Holmes and the great Philly.500 are here, as always. How you doing, fellas?
Doing great. How are you?
You know what? Hello, world. Can I clear something up before we mix this whole thing up?
Please.
Dan, I just turned 59 last week. Okay.
Hey, congratulations.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe I've made it this far.
This guy's always working an angle.
No. But see, you and I, Dan, are about the same age, right?
Yes.
And see, maybe you're getting a little dementia, or maybe things just aren't, lining up. Because I sent you a text this morning, and I said, morning, like I always do. And you said, are we good for the day? I said, I am, but I'm not sure about Philly.500.
Oh, I took that as I wasn't sure that you were in the mood to come on and talk about your shitty Cowboys.
You know what? Let me get close to the camera here. Let me clarify something. There's nothing that you guys can do to me to make me feel worse about my team that Jerry and Stephen Jones haven't already done to me. Okay? In fact, I will say that this is therapeutical because this reminds me not to fall into the trap of the delusion of thinking that the Cowboys are actually going to do something. This is my reality check, and this is my therapy. Go on.
Are you kind of throwing out there that now that delusion is not part of your MO anymore right now because you kind of know who you are? You are saying that Eagle fans, are you implying, are in delusion because they beat the Browns? And the shitty Giants? Is that what you're saying?
Well, see, here's what I knew I was facing today was the circle jerk of Eagle fans that thinking they're headed for the Super Bowl because they ended up getting, beating the Cleveland Browns and all that are completely more dysfunctional than the Dallas Cowboys. But that's cool. I'm okay. Feel good, Eagle fans, because, the higher you go, the harder it is when you fall.
What a load of crap. What a load of crap.
Billy,
this guy, when they beat Cleveland Browns week 1, Cleveland Browns, they're better than the Green Bay Packers. I believe he said that on this show, matter of fact.
I don't think, I did not say they were better than the Green Bay Packers.
They're better than Cleveland Browns.
I did, no. Find me the clip. But here's, okay.
And they beat the Giants on a Thursday. He starts the show. Hey, friends, Mark Holmes.
Hey, but we did beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Okay, we did beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh, And you got to look at the Steelers and say that they're playing pretty good right now. They're 5-2.
My point is that when the Cowboys win, it's okay for Mark to go to ultra delusional standards. But God forbid the Eagles win a game and look good. We're not allowed to pat ourselves
No, you're not.
back.
Okay.
Even a little bit.
By definition.
He knows. Look at his face. He knows.
Philly, by definition, that's called being a hater. We know I hate it. I'm a hater of the Eagles in the same way you are.
I get it.
Mark, let me ask Philly.500 this. Well, Philly, how are you feeling after the last 8 quarters of football? Going into this Cincinnati game, how do you feel about your Birds going into this game? Mark had a great week last week. Cowboys won. They didn't have a game.
No, we still lost. We still lost.
In a way, I'll get to it.
I feel good about some things, especially that happened in the Giants game. The question now that I have, and I wonder, is will they keep doing it? Like, I look at last week and I said, man, if you want to win games and you want to be competitive in the NFC, you found your identity. This is how you will win a lot of football games if you're the Eagles. The question I have now is, will they stick to it? Will they stick to coming out and being a smash-mouth football team that will run the ball, especially early in the game, improve on that first quarter and, build up a lead that way, work off the run game, work off the play action, things like that. Will they do that? Will they commit to that? Because this team can do that and win a lot of games. And I think it would help the defense. That's my issue right now. Will they do it? And I agree. I don't think they will. I think they'll come out and they'll throw 40 times to start next game. And that's what worries me. But I thought there were some really good signs that came out of both games, especially the Giants game.
All right. I'll get back to that. I want to go over to Mark now and throw this at him. So, Mark, help me out here. Saquon Barkley is second and only 50 yards behind Derrick Henry, who's on pace for 2,100 yards and owns 2 homes in Dallas. Let me just take those 2 guys off the board. You had Aaron Jones, who's annihilating teams in Minnesota. You arguably had the greatest free agent market in the history of running backs. You want to hear something, Philly? The Cowboys, I think, are averaging like 77 yards rushing.
I don't
think
what
average
that
is in the league? It's 123 yards. That's average.
Who's their running back again?
It's
Oliver,
Ricky Ricardo and some dude.
Yeah.
So tell me this, Mark, how in the world do you pass on a running back and you sign a relic in Zeke in the greatest free agency era offseason in NFL history? How are you looking at that Derrick Henry non-move now? He's on pace for 2195 and 22
possibly the
touchdowns.
record. I had an epiphany today, that I realized that it's really not about winning. I honestly do. Jerry Jones had went out first was saying, we couldn't afford the guy. And you're sitting here looking at Trey Lance at $5.3 million and you're bringing back Zeke and all these things and realize how stupid that sounds. He followed it up yesterday with he didn't fit what we're trying to do because if you pay Derrick Henry, you got to run Derrick Henry a lot. And I'm sitting here looking and thinking that he had 16 rushes for 167 yards on Monday night game. And you realize how stupid Jerry is where he's just selling you bullshit. I don't know how. I wish I had an answer for that. That he literally figured that Zeke Elliott was washed 2 years ago. He's overpaid and not doing it. But we can bring him back now that he's in worse shape, and we're going to win it all.
How about this, Mark? When he makes a comment that he doesn't fit, that's like saying a chick with giant cans and great legs is not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I mean... I mean, dude, she's everyone's type of guy.
You find a guy, you get somebody like that, you find a way to make him work.
You find a way to make it work. A chick with giant cans and a great ass and great legs, she's everyone's type.
Yep.
Okay? That guy, for him saying that, he's now going to look at potentially finding a scapegoat here.
And so that's already going on.
Is it going to be Mike McCarthy here? Does he survive the year?
Here's what we've got going on right now. We have a circular firing squad, or maybe you want to call it used to be a circle jerk, I guess. I don't know. But what's going on what's going on is, so now you have Jerry saying that, he didn't fit and all that. Now he's talking about the play calling. So then you get Mike McCarthy who's saying, no, there's not a problem with our play calling. Now it's practice. And now you're going to the players where Jordan Lewis is kind of like, it's a big distraction where we have all these tours and we're in there lifting weights and we got people knocking on the glass like, it's feeding time at the zoo. So nobody is taking responsibility for everything. Everybody else, I'm good. Everybody's pointing the finger at somebody else. At this point,
went on. Mark, that shit went on at Valley Ranch when we were working out outside. Fans would come by and watch. And they won 3 Super Bowls. Okay, that shit went on back then. This comes down to Jerry Jones, the last 30 years being the worst general manager.
There you go.
Best general manager.
Well, no. Here's what you got to look at. He's the worst general manager as far as winning, but he's winning in the publicity area and making money. And he's making money hand over fist. The question is how much money do you need to make? At some point, you ought to say, I got enough. I'm 82 years old. Let's worry about winning one more ring. But he's not doing that.
What he said was, Philly, you know what he said? 3 Super Bowls is enough for my legacy. The rest of it is about building the brand up because he bought the team for 100. Hey, however you want to look at the chapter, sometimes the best part of the book is the beginning. Sometimes it's the end. Sometimes it's the middle. Jerry Jones's book is complete almost because he built the 3 Super. Hey, he did more than Landry. He did more than Tex Schramm. He did more than all those guys, and he tripled the. Hey, his story's complete. The problem is that Cowboy fans think that this guy's still looking for one more over the rainbow ring, and it's not happening. Okay, let me get over to Philly here. This week he got Joe Burrow, dude. He's 9th in offense right now. He's got 14 touchdowns and 2 picks. He's clearly the best quarterback that the Eagles are going to face. Are you buying your defense right now when you got to play? And by the way, forget this, Mark. The Eagles are 2.5-point underdogs in this game to a 3-4 Bengals team.
Ouch.
I don't know. I mean, I think you got to – I think in defense, I think you have to go out and be able to show that you can do things multiple weeks. So, I need to see them do it again. I mean, let's face it. They did play Sean Watson and Daniel Jones. I mean, 2 really stinky quarterbacks. I mean, come on. They stink. Burrow's a different animal. The Bengals they start slow, but they always seem to come on, as the year progresses. And if you look at the games, like especially the last 2 times we played the Bengals, always weird things happen in those games. I like what we've seen from the pass rush the last 2 weeks, but I need to see more. I still need to see more.
Mark, over to you now. Who would you rather see as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys at the end of this year? John Gruden? Eric Allen hopes he gets another opportunity. By the way, he said that on the program yesterday. And I'll talk to you, Philly, about Eric here in a minute. Or would you rather see a 72-year-old Bill Belichick? Because I'm going to make a point to you on something here about Gruden. If Gruden didn't have the emails, would he be making $20 million a year right now, one of the highest paid coaches in the National Football League? And would there be teams all over him right now? Yes. He had $120 million. He had a $120 million contract with the Raiders. He had a $90 million contract when he was with the Buccaneers, and they made 3 draft choices for first rounds for him. You're not talking about a bad coach here, dude. You're talking about a guy who knows how to win. He built 2 Super Bowl teams at one time. He built the Raiders, and then Raider team he played, he was the head coach.
True. I'll give you that one.
And then he turned around and added 22 different guys to that Dungy offense. That's why Dungy got fired and they won a Super Bowl. Dude,
they have the basics already there for that. Here's the thing that I have with John Gruden or gives me pause is once that group got old, he wasn't good at rebuilding them. And when he went to the Raiders, that was a complete rebuild. You have to kind of question some of the moves that he made there with the team and so on. He just could not get that team built.
He's not going to have that control in Dallas anyway.
Then let's go to the real reality of all of this. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Because as long as you have Jerry and Stephen Jones that are sitting here saying, we believe in our own guys. 2 weeks ago, we had Jerry literally talking about Ryan Fauntleroy. We lose a wide receiver, in Brandon Cooks.
Who?
Brandon Cooks. Exactly.
No, the other guy.
Ryan Fauntleroy. Ryan Fauntleroy. Here's where Jerry does all of his sales job. Jerry literally goes in, we don't need to go get anybody with Brandon Cooks because we got 6th-round pick Ryan Fauntleroy. And I'm going to tell you, that guy, I can't wait to see his first catch. And he has some Dez Bryant in him. He finally got his first catch last week against the Lions and proceeded to fumble it.
Hey, Sills.
So does it really matter who the coach is as long as Steven and Jerry are figuring we're just going to build through the draft? In the last 2 years, your draft has not done much to help the team. So anybody who comes in here, they're screwed.
Go ahead, Philly.
I think Jerry Jones wants to blow this whole thing. I think this is all on purpose. I think Jerry Jones wants this team blown up, the current guys that they have. I don't think he wanted to pay Dak. I don't think he wanted to have him paid that much money. And I think he's pulling a major league. I think he's Shanghaiing the whole thing, and he's screwing the whole season. I mean, how are you sure in the NFL that to not win a lot of games, you can't stop the run and you can't run the ball? I mean,
and he made the team worse.
And they can't do that. They're fundamentally flawed. I think there's more going on. I think Jerry is blowing this thing up on purpose.
It looks to me, Philly, like he's losing it here.
There you go.
I think he's losing it at 82. But I want to say this to you.
Maybe.
How about this here, though, Philly? I'm going to use what Mark said to me just a couple minutes ago, and Ted said to all of us here. This is Jerry Jones thing here. Well, when you look at the way the organization in Philadelphia operates, do you believe this? I said this earlier. The Philadelphia Eagles, just like the Dallas Cowboys, believe that you win Super Bowls with a general manager and a front office / owner. Mm-hmm. Well, the great places win with coaching and players. Mm-hmm. They don't operate in Philly like that. They don't operate in Dallas like that. Look at the places that operate like that. They operate in Baltimore like that. John Harbaugh. Personnel decisions with the players on the field that they draft and they coach. Look at the coaches they've had roll through there. Mm-hmm. Look at Kansas City. Mm-hmm. It's an Andy Reid operation. Shit, look at the Rams even. It's a Sean McVay operation. Look at Green Bay. Green Bay's had 3 quarterbacks in almost 40 years. Yeah. Do you think that that's their fundamental flaw that they have? Look, they're a good organization. They're just not a championship organization. You have one to boot there for it, and it's because the owner believes that you win Super Bowls through the front office with a general manager and with an owner, and that's been the issue in Philly. You buying that?
Yeah, to some extent I do. I think the Chip Kelly thing really messed them up, right? Because they were willing to give Chip Kelly full power, full control, and it didn't work out. So it wasn't like they were always opposed to it. And then you had all those years of Andy Reid before Howie really got in power. Andy Reid had all the power. So I think that the Chip Kelly thing really affected them. And I think it's a situation now where Howie is never going to put himself in a position where he's getting a coach who's going to challenge him on any level. At least we haven't seen it. I don't think he's ever going to want to be put in the boiler room again. So I think that this is a problem that comes up, especially when you don't see your draft picks working. You don't see certain things going good. However, the opposite I'll say is that I know every offseason this team is going to go out and try to get better and try to win. So there's good and bad on both sides of it, I think. But,
absolutely, yeah, man. That's the difference there at the end. They do take their swings. I got to say this to you, Mark. And, Mark, this is all seriousness. Mm-hmm. Cowboy fans are in a really awful place. Oh. And I'll tell you why. You're right. no matter who you hire as a coach, assistant coach, no matter who you hire as a coordinator, and to some extent, no matter who you draft, you're always going to overthink them, always over-evaluate them, because the owner believes that his decisions are the Tiffany standard in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is the owner's delusional. Your fans aren't. He's delusional. He sets you guys up every fucking year for massive failure. And until that guy dies, your situation is going to be the same. It's the revolving shithouse, the toilet that never flushes. Dude,
Hey,
Cowboy fans, Cowboy fans aren't they're delusional because the owner sets them up every year to be delusional.
No, they're delusional.
You know,
they can't help it. It's already in them. Because you know why they're delusional? Because they think that they're God's gift to football. They literally think that they literally call themselves America's team. You have nothing to do with America. You're in Dallas. You want a real America's team? How about the birthplace of America? Come on. I mean, Dallas. Come on.
You know, I see you trying to throw salt in the wounds, Philly. Sitting here, sending me pictures while we're on live here of Derrick Henry. Okay.
I just want to remind you.
You piece of shit. Okay.
Wow.
You know, but
what a shot.
Show them pictures. Show them pictures.
Wait a minute.
He's literally texting me pictures of Derrick Henry right now.
Show him.
Oh, let me see that.
Look, seriously.
Let me see that again here.
Look, he's seriously look.
I'm just trying to remind you.
Really, he just said that.
Oh, not just that one. He sent me like a whole. It's just it goes on and on and on. He's just rubbing salt in the wound.
On purpose here?
Okay, but all jokes aside, we are in hell as Cowboy fans because I think we actually care about the Cowboys more than the Joneses do. In the same way that the players out there are the zoo to entertain the masses and make more money off of, Jerry kind of gave you a window into his thinking when he went off in the guys last week on 105 The Fan. When he literally said, I don't expect people that I pay to question me. And if he's going to go off on radio people like that, then who in there has a voice on Jerry doing Jerry Jones things? And this is a case of, is this now Al Davis 2.0?
No, Al Davis hired quality people like Ron Wolf and Ken Herrick to build his 3-time Super Bowl champion.
No, I'm talking about the last 10 years.
What happened with him at the end was, I told Al this personally, you're too much in the courtroom and not enough on the football field the last 15 years of his existence owning the team, because he was constantly battling Pete Rozelle and then at the end, Paul Tagliabue.
Yeah.
So his time at the end was more in the courtroom. But Jerry Jones is no Al Davis. Al was actually an NFL coach at one time. He inducted Lance Allworth into the Hall of Fame when he was a wide receiver coach with the Chargers. He was the AFL Coach of the Year when they won the AFL. Then he became the commissioner of the league.
I'll give you that.
Then he became the managing general partner. Jerry Jones is a wannabe Al Davis. Well, he's not. He's a cheap man's version of Al. But again, his greatest moment was hiring of Jimmy.
It was. And ever since firing him, he has been on a quest to basically prove that he is the one, and he will never admit that he made a mistake there. And when you sit here and you look and say that Loomis is the oldest GM at 66, I believe
Mickey
it is.
Loomis?
Yeah. The next oldest is 60. The average age of most GMs is like 46 and a half years old. You've got Jerry Jones, 82, who's not only trying to run the Cowboys, he's into Grand Prix and World Cup soccer. There's no way in the world that you can be a part-time GM and think that you're going to be able to do it credibly. And the moves bear this out that he keeps making. It makes no sense. Flat out.
Couple last questions for you guys. Billy, Eric Allen, I know Jerome's your guy. We had him on yesterday. Mm-hmm. He criticized Paul Domowitz for being I threw this in, and he kind of corroborated it. I think he's a shitty presenter on trying to put him in the Hall of Fame, and that there's numerous other guys. And Paul is your Philadelphia Hall of Fame presenter for your players. He doesn't have a lot of energy. and again, like a guy like Clyde Simmons or even Donovan McNabb. I'll guarantee you this. I'll make a point to you here. Do you agree too, Mark? I guarantee Jerry Jones has enough power and has enough push. Tony Romo may not get in the Hall of Fame, but Tony Romo's going to be considered. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the media right now. You got Michael Irvin involved in it. You got Troy Aikman involved in it. You got Jason Garrett involved in it. You got Romo, Aikman. Dude, this guy has got a lot of push in the media to elevate people's careers. And you're going to look at Tony Romo differently. If you look at, they're going to try to put him in the same category as, say, a Phillip Rivers. Rivers never won either.
Yeah, but Phillip Rivers, I don't think is a Hall of Famer either.
I do think he is. Okay,
but see, you got to look at the era.
I didn't say that. I didn't say Romo's going in.
I don't look. I'm a Cowboy fan, and I don't think he deserves to be in there.
Though. But wait, my point is McNabb's a better player and will get no consideration.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that conversation me and Eric had yesterday about getting in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? And what's your take on Eric Allen?
Which one, Mark?
He's talking to you.
Oh. I mean, Eric Allen, to me, is one of the most complete corners I've ever seen. I think Eric Allen should have been in there a long time ago, and I think it's a crime. I never knew why he might not be getting in, but if he's not got a presenter that's really passionately talking for him, that's really a shame. Because, I mean, this guy was good for a long time, not just with the Eagles, but you're talking with the Raiders, with the Saints. Yep. He was good, and he was one of the best tackling corners I've ever seen.
54 INTs.
I mean, he has one of the greatest interception returns for a touchdown versus the Jets. I'll never forget it. Randall Cunningham sitting in the end zone. Mm-hmm. He hands off to him. I mean, Eric Allen is one of the all-time greats, and he deserves to be in. And to me, I think if he was on any other team, especially if he was on Dallas,
if he was on Dallas, he's already. But then again, they got a guy.
Woodson should be in there. Yeah,
Woodson should be.
Look how fast your boy Michael Irvin got in there, and look how long it took Art Monk to get in.
Yeah, but Art. Okay, you got three rings. You got 3 rings with Michael Irvin. Art Monk in the playoffs. There's not much there with him in the playoffs. No, honestly.
How many rings does Art Monk have 2?
Art Monk's got 2-3 rings.
He's got 2 rings, but if you look at his numbers in the playoffs, one year he was injured. That was the knock on him.
Art Monk was better than Drew Pearson.
What was his statistic? Like, didn't he go some ridiculous amount of games with a catch?
When he retired, I think he retired. Hey, Philly, when he retired, I thought he was the all-time catch guy.
Yeah.
And yardage guy, Art Monk.
And I hate Washington, but, man, I don't know how that guy could not get in. So I think it does depend on where you play. And I think Eric Allen should be in. And to me, it's a crime that he's not in. He's one of the best corners I've seen. And you know how is when you talk to rival fan base who've watched the Eagles a long time, they always bring up how great Eric Allen was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd make no argument on that one. Eric Allen, the eyes alone.
He should have went in before him. But by the way, Mark, for you, I think Darren Woodson too, man.
He should be.
I think sometimes you fall through the cracks because Darren Woodson was on a football team that had so many great football players on it. That think about this, for instance. On that defensive side during that 3-time Super Bowl run, how many players who have ever gone through that reign have made it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Sanders was on one of those teams.
Yep.
Charles Haley was on 3 of those teams. Okay, can you name me another guy?
Troy Aikman.
Made the Hall of Fame? I'm talking defensively.
Defensively, but that defense was so good all the way around. But see, Woodson is the all-time leading tackles. In the league. Yeah, but he was number 1 in the Cowboys in tackles. Part of those 3 teams, he was the field general.
What I'm saying is, how come there's no more? All your guys were on offense. Why? Because of TV, and Billy. That defense
was a beast.
That Dave Wannstedt and Jimmy and them had, they were number 1 across the board. I think 3 of the 5 years that they were there, and you've only got 2 guys that ever played on that side of the ball.
Dude, I want to trash that team so bad.
You do, but the thing is, here's the thing: it wasn't just one guy.
I hate that team. To me, that team was about that offensive line. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mark.
By the way,
greatest offensive line I've ever seen.
Philly, just for Mark, about 3 days ago, I had the offensive line coach that was the coach of that team, Tony Wise, on here. And he was talking about all those guys, Stebnowski and all that, and how great that offensive line was.
Oh, jeez. He made those guys.
He did, because they were most of them were Landry guys.
Yeah, there were no first-round draft picks. I mean, some of those guys. Look, Stebnowski was a guard. Nate Newton was let go by the Washington because they said he was too fat.
Well, remember, too, he was a USFL guy.
He took those guys, and that's where Jimmy – see, that was the greatness of Jimmy Johnson, was he found the right coaches to put them in position to succeed. He found guys that could make these guys, coach them into being great. It wasn't all just big-name players that they made great.
Okay, finally here. Mark, who do you play this weekend?
We play the crippled San Francisco 49ers. If we do not beat San Francisco this week,
you ain't winning.
I tell you what, they are hurting bad. You got Debo, who just got out of the hospital with pneumonia. Ayuk has got torn ACL right there. You've got Christian McCaffrey, who's just beginning to get into the swimming pool. Brock Purdy went from 113 rating last year to a 91.
You're trying to sell me insurance.
I'm just saying, listen, I don't know if we can win this or not, but if they can't win now, they never will. They never will. They need to finish him. We need to end San Francisco's season right here.
Hey,
don't
Billy,
feel bad.
I thought he was trying to sell me insurance for a second. Okay,
all
right. So are they winning, yes or no?
I'm going to say yes, that this is because, see, here's the reason why I'm going to tell you why they're going to win, because it would be the most Cowboys thing ever, because of all the shit that has hit the fan, all of the shit that's hit the fan now, all of it would be forgotten next week. Okay? And it gives Jerry Jones a pass and all that, and we forget about it. We all get back to, we the boys, we beat San Francisco, we going to the Super Bowl. Because you know how Cowboy fans are. And in the end, we'll still be some bullshit.
You'll be 4-3. Hey,
you're going to lose.
How about you? By the way, bet US for all three of us here.
Amen on that one.
Hey, how about this here, Philly? Bengals, your 2.5-point dogs going in.
It's going to end in a tie. It's going to end in a tie. every time we play the Bengals,
end in a tie.
Every time we play the Bengals, it's a tie. Like
you've never won in Cincinnati.
I'm telling you, as long as I remember watching the Eagles play the Bengals, it's always a weird game. It's always weird. So I think. I mean, listen, if the Eagles come out and run the ball like they did last week, I think they got a good chance. Otherwise, it's going to be a tie. It's going to be like the third tie in a row. I think the last two games have been ties. I'm not even kidding. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. They flexed us out of it. But I'll say Mark should be happy, though. Jerry Jones just went to the doctor, and they said he's got the body and the mind of a 32-year-old. So he's going to be there for a long time.
Hey, remember this, man. That guy is the king of toilets and babes. Remember that, dude. That's why he acts like he's 32. I'd rather take a paternity test than trade away Micah Parsons. How you doing? That's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
Dude. Congratulations, Big Mark. Tell folks. By the way, my misread, I apologize. I thought, man, hey, maybe I am slipping in my age here.
I know I am. Okay, trust me, I know I am.
Maybe I'm slipping there. Thank you so much. Mark, tell folks how they can find you, brother.
You can always find me on Wednesdays unless Big Salils screws the pooch on here.
Yeah, but wait, Philly.500 says he can catch you any day, Monday through Friday, eating a ham sandwich.
Oh, Lordy. You know what? But I tell you what, you can always find me with Cowboy Joe Boo on anything. But let me just do one thing here as I get out of here.
This is falling down because 500's going to net. So, my ass can only take so much. Just mute him.
Are you farting?
Come on.
Cockwork. What the hell is he doing? Dude, he's a nut. The guy's, I think he's trying to get What is he doing?
That's you, bro.
Hey,
you're always talking about
you got me. He got me. Philly. I have no idea what the hell he's talking about.
How
Joe Biden over here.
How the folks can find you, brother?
Just type in Philly.500. I'll come right up.
Pause.
I literally didn't hear anything.
Hey, seriously, Philly told me, man, you eat bratwurst sandwiches on your channel every day.
Chili, bratwurst, wings.
I tell you what, I
smokes a pig.
Hold on.
It's like every quarter's another meal. It's like 5 Thanksgivings.
Did a 16-hour live stream, bro, when the Cowboys played the Steelers. So, I got to get lunch in and dinner in and everything else, man. So I'm here dedicated to the fans, bringing them all the content. Sundays, I stream all day long.
Hey, let me get a quick meal real quick, guys. I'll be right back. And, hey, look what we're eating here.
Let me eat some pig's feet. There you go.
But I got my cooking channel, so I got to show you the delicious food that we have there.
This guy's
my God. Let me get the hell out of here. Guys, I love you too, man. You guys are awesome. Mark, I won't shoot the pooch next week. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you check those fabulous channels out. These guys are so important to the show. We love them so much. Thank you, guys.
Peace.
You got it.
Thank you.
Mark Holmes and Philly.500. Love those guys, man. Do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button. We're going to reset here. Interesting. I tell you what, I give Mark a lot of credit. You know why?
Here we go.
Because what I told him is true about Cowboys. Jerry Jones is chasing. Now we got Halloween coming up. He's chasing this Jimmy Johnson ghost that's been there for 30 years. Ooh, Jerry. I'm the one that made all the moves. You want to take credit for Charles Haley? That's not true. You wanted to take credit for all of those basic moves and Charles Haley moves and all of that? That was me, not you. And now the media, because they got him in their back pocket, like Mark said, he could tell a guy sitting there on a local FM station to shut the fuck up or I'll get you replaced.
Yeah.
You see, you couldn't tell that to Jimmy because Jimmy would turn around and look at Jerry and say, get the fuck off my field. Could you imagine Could you imagine Jerry Jones landing a helicopter on Jimmy Johnson's practice field?
Nope.
He'd have took a bazooka to it.
He's speaking truth here.
He'd have took a bazooka. Hit the like button. Keep it here. National Football Show.
All right.
If you missed any of today's show on the Jacob Media channel, listen to the podcast on your...
There we go. There, and I'm out of there. So, Mark, you and Philly.500 have to be great friends. Yeah, we're friends, man. We're friends. We're friends that like to go ahead and bitch slap each other about our teams and things. But, yeah, we are definitely friends. And, sometimes you got to take your medicine and stuff. My hope is the Cowboys find a way to get a win against San Francisco and the Eagles get brought back down to earth against Cincinnati. And that's definitely a possibility. I didn't realize that the Eagles were underdogs playing against Cincinnati. That's kind of crazy. So, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. I need to go back over and get back to work on, Philly.500's texting me. Here we go. Let's see, what is he sending me this time? Oh, we couldn't hear what, he said we couldn't hear what you played. Okay, so we didn't get the drop. Great job, man. I appreciate you guys. I like my hot dogs with mustard. I like mine with mustard, onions, sauerkraut, and some chili, and some hot sauce. That's a good dog right there. But be that as it may, here we go. I'm out of here, and I'll check with you guys later. Peace.
It's just falling down because 500's going to neck. So, my ass can only take so much.
You're
up that ass. Come on. Hock work.
Up there.
Yeah.
Kick it.
All right, let's get that ass. Can only take so much. Come on. Hock work. The Eagles are trying to